Hi everyone, and welcome to the exciting world of R language. Now, I hope you have followed the earlier videos and downloaded the R on your machine and installed it. And I hope you have also installed the R Studio like shown in the earlier videos. Now, many people ask me that to learn R, do they need to be a good programmer or they should have they should be good statisticians to work on with R. In my opinion, if you love to play with data and if you know little bit English and you know simple maths, that's enough to start with R. And you can see as we progress that how R is exciting, how it can help you to do a different sort of analysis that can help you to achieve almost anything that's in your mind, okay, and where you need uh, a computer processing power to do some analysis. Now, R is so powerful that most of the software giants are now integrating R with their products, and it's make it much lucrative for people like many people to learn it, okay, and understand this product. The best example is the ERP giant SAP, which now offers the R integration with its popular product on SAP HANA, where now you have the ability to connect R and do the analysis. There are different products nowadays coming in market which supports this R connectivity. Now, I think it's a lot of discussion on R how it is used, but now let's start and do our hands dirty with R coding. Now here we go. Now the moment you start your R console, okay, you would be greeted something like this. Now, as the name says, it's a console. Okay, so as a typical console, it expects that you enter something. So for here, it's waiting for your input. Now you enter something and it will give you the output. So you have to give them the command and it will retrieve back, give you back the results. Now when you start it, you will be shown some text like this, okay, which typically says that which is the version that has been installed, and whether it is a 32-bit or 64-bit and other details. If you are using it console based, I think you can see the same thing in your Linux or Mac version. Now you see here, let's start with our first thing. So let's do a simple maths. I wanted to do 3 plus 4 and it returns the value 7. So that is how our console is working. You give it some command or whatever you wanted to do, so and it will calculate the values for you. So here I go, another example. Now you will find that the immediately it returns a value, and along with it there is something that has been shown. So 1. Okay. Now this is the important thing to understand. R stores a value uh, in a maybe in a grid format, or you can say uh, a tabular format, okay, and it holds this value into a particular location. So that is typically called as an index, okay. So this is actually the index that has been shown. So for example, if I am uh, let's see how we can store a value into variable first. So for example, I wanted to store a value x, sorry, in any value in a variable x. So I just say x and then a assignment operator. So this is called as a assignment operator, arrow that is indicating that value has to be stored in x. And if I just hit x, okay, it's returning the value as 12. Now this assignment operator is similar to what we do, okay, like equal to sign. Okay, so if you see, it is doing the same thing, but in our word you will find mostly the arrow assignment is used comparatively to the equal to sign. there is a little difference between both of them. We will see this in upcoming videos, but the basic thing that you will find as your code get more complicated, okay, and it becomes easier to use this arrow that can show that your value is actually stored into a particular thing, okay, compared to the equal to sign, which is similar to the functions where you assign a value. So when you are calling a function, okay, and when you pass some values to a parameters, you also use a equal to sign, and sometimes it became so complicated that if you are using this equal to sign, you will find it difficult to read the code. But this sign, okay, the assignment sign using this arrow, that makes the life much easier. So I would also suggest you follow the this assignment operator whenever you stored any value into any variable. Now the another advantage of this assignment variable is that, okay, if you have some value and you wanted to store it into variable, so you can use it in a reverse way. So for example, 30, and then I'm assigning it to a variable v, and now the arrow is reversed, but it means that the value or whatever the calculation that has been done here, okay, that has to go into that variable. Now this is little weird, but sometimes, okay, if you want to store it, you can use it in this way. So for example, I done this 12 plus 23 and stored into f, and if I say f, now it give me the result of 30 of this calculation. So remember, this is a very important thing, okay, the assignment operator, the basic of how you can use to store a value into a variable. Now one thing, more thing is that in this particular variable you can store a range of values, okay. So if I wanted to store let's say 10 different values into a variable q, okay, I can use this function c that is called as a combine. Okay, we will see this in more detail when we see a video on the vector. So basically here I'm doing that I'm creating a vector, okay, that we will try to understand in next session. Actually a vector is a sequence of values, okay, of the same basic type, and that is stored in a particular variable. So here our variable is q, and I'm trying to store these four values here. Now if I just hit back the q again, okay, it will be return 12, 23, 56 and 40, okay. Now, if I wanted to store, let's say, multiple values, for example, W, and I wanted to store value from 1 to 100, okay, and now I can just write it using this this assignment operator, okay, and 1 to 100 is stored. So, for example, if I hit W, now it is returning the value, and now here you see that there is these numbers are increasing. It is actually called as an index number. So your W is now storing a value from 1 till 100, and while it is putting the output, the 19th value is here. Okay, I think it will be much clearer. Let's say let's assign a value from 21 till 100. Okay, and now if I see, so at this 20th position the value of 40 is stored. Okay, so that is how this index can help us. So for example, if I wanted to retrieve the value that is stored into this variable w at a position of 20, okay, I can just write it like this, and now it will return a value 40. So for example, if I wanted to retrieve a value that is stored at, let's say, at the position of 60, so this is a 58 position, 59 and 60. So if I say w and 60, okay, in a bracket, so now the 60th position for this variable w, the value is 80 stored. So this is the basic thing that you have to remember, okay, like how the values are stored. Now one important thing that you must remember, that it is very case sensitive when you are working with R. So variable name w, okay, and capital W is two different things, okay. So all your functions or whatever you are calling, okay, remember to see what is the uppercase lowercase that has been used with the particular function or with the variable, because this lowercase w and the uppercase w is a two different thing. Now another thing is that whenever you are uh, using the same variable and doing the assignment, it is the values are getting overwritten. For example, in this example, you remember we stored first 1 to 100 into variable w, okay, and it stored the 100 value. But in the next command line, I said w and store values from 21 to 100, and now only the 80 values that has been stored into w. It doesn't said anything. It had just overwritten the values. So this is the important thing that you have to remember whenever you are using the R. Now this is very basic, okay, to just let you start with the R, how you store a value into variable and then how you can do the calculations. So let's say I wanted to do a calculation between a W and two different variables. So let's say I have values of few values in this variable W, and then I have a x which contains value 12, and then I wanted to do a multiplication. I can just do w and y, and now R knows what you want to do. So it actually does is that whatever values there in w, okay, it has been multiplied by the value of the variable y. Okay, so this is how actually you can use it to do a complicated calculation. We will see this in much detail as we progress. Okay, but just remember this thing. This is just totally basics that we are talking right now. Okay, now next thing is that R comes with its own documentation. Now if you want to learn R, you can of course go to the Google, okay, search, and you will find lots and lots of material there. But if you wanted to read the documentation that has been provided with R itself, just go and hit the command help dot star. Okay, so now you see that the moment I hit the enter, it has been shown uh, one window where it is showing the default documentation like introduction to R, writing R extension, R data import export. So you can definitely, whenever you wanted to learn more thing, okay, rather than searching everywhere, you can go to this documentation, try to learn the things. Okay, the other thing is that this help, okay, for example, you don't know about a function called as a plot. Now just hit help and in a bracket say plot. Now remember to put it in exclamatory mark. So so help, okay, and it has been loaded this help for you. Okay, now the same thing you can achieve using a question mark. So if I say plot, okay, it will once again load a documentation for this plot function. It gives you the description, then the how it can be used, and then what are the different arguments that you can pass, and then what are the different default values that you can give. So you can read it, okay, you can learn yourself using these functions. Now sometimes it is possible that you are trying to find out something and it is not returning. For example, I said a question mark and then the function ggplot. So maybe you are analyzing some code online that has been already provided, and you come across some function called as ggplot and you don't know what is that. So you just type question mark ggplot and it says, okay, we don't know what it is because this is I don't know from which package etc you are loading. Okay, so the thing is that R, it is possible to extend its power. Okay, R using the different libraries that has been created by different communities on the web. Okay, and they have provided built-in functions that can make your life much easier. For example, this ggplot. This is a good function that is used for drawing different graphs, and you will find that in future we will be also using it more frequently. So, if this type of code is already available, then you don't have to go and write it, okay, yourself. You can just use this functions that has been created by someone, okay, into your program, okay. But to use it, you have to load it into R memory. That is done using the function called as a library, okay. And I will say GG. Okay, so here is the the library that I used, that I have loaded for these functions. Now we will see this how we have to work with this, but now the topic is about this getting the help. Okay, now I now wanted to find out where my ggplot is located, or what is this function. So I can use this command, double question mark ggplot, okay, and it will retrieve online documentation on this topic. So you can see here it's actually bringing me all the different locations or details for this R function. The same thing can be achieved using the help dot search function. Okay, this is doing the exactly same thing. So any notation you can use to see this. Now, for example, I have now loaded this library, and now I wanted to see an example. Okay, so you are new to this function, you don't know anything, but you want to see how this can be used, etc. So definitely you can go and read more using the help function, or the other way is to see into code directly, use the example. Okay, so I say example, and I say ggplot. Okay, and now it will show you the code, okay, that can be help you to understand this ggplot function, okay, and it has been showing you some code, okay, and the output you can see here. Just the moment I press enter, okay, it's drawing the different graphs for me using this ggplot function, okay, how you can use. So this is pretty useful when you learn a new function, okay, and you want to get more code on this and learn it from the reading the code itself. You can use this example as a function. Now there are lots and lots of information available on the internet, okay, for a particular function or a particular thing how you will use. Definitely you can go to the Google and you can just uh, type the function that you want, and it will retrieve a value for this. But other than this, you have the option of using the built-in function called as R site search. So if I use the function R. Okay, now remember one thing. Now you don't know the or you, if you are lazy like me who don't want to type everything, or you just know little bit of the function, then just press a tab and it will do auto completion for you. So for example, I just type R site, and the moment I click on the tab, it will do a code completion for me. Okay, and it will write a particular function as a code completion for me. So let's say use the R site search, and we will search once again this you know uh, the- let's say geom point. This is the thing that we have seen here, and we want to understand more on this. So I say this and hit enter. Now once again R will take you to the repository where you will find that, okay, There are different search options that are available. Okay, so you can go and read more about it. So I hope this is just a basic introduction. We will see much more in upcoming videos. So enjoy learning. Bye.